Revelation 3523. From the 25th of August 1945. Exams. Fight. Will to resist. Every test on earth is a rung on the ladder upwards, as soon as the human being passes it and thus matures his soul. Every test is, so to speak, a phase of battle which ends in victory or defeat, and the human being has to fight as long as he lives if he wants to gain an advantage for his soul. Every test forces him to make a decision of will, and how he decides is decisive for his spiritual development. Good and evil forces will always try to persuade the human being to join them. The evil forces will tempt him with the goods of the world or other earthly pleasures, whereas the forces of light can only use spiritual goods, but these are little desirable for people who are earthly minded. But such trials must come upon them in order to urge them to make a decision, for the human being must prove his will to resist by taking refuge in God and pleading for strength in prayer and thereby climb a rung on the ladder of his development. For every connection with God and appeal for strength leads him upwards. But if he succumbs to temptation and prefers earthly goods to spiritual goods, then he stops on the step of his development. He does not take up the fight with the tempter but surrenders to him. Every resistance strengthens his power, and he will pass every next test more easily, whereas the weaker the person, the less will he musters to resist, until he allows himself to be used by God's adversary as a tool for his evil plans. Therefore, a life without struggle will never be granted to a person because it signifies a standstill in his development, and a spiritually striving person will also be exposed to many trials which, however, are always signs that his soul is being fought for by the spiritual power. And he should always entrust himself to the forces of light, he should leave himself to them, and he will pass every battle victoriously, for his will gives them the right to help him, and then he will also remain victorious in the face of every temptation, and he will ascend step by step. Amen.